It's July 12th, 2020. It's been a little rainy this week, but it's sunny today. Start the update over here with the lavender. You can see there's more flowers that are fading away, and there seems to be a fly on the flower right there. Here's the succulent pot. I actually transplanted this succulent from the grape pot, which you're going to see later. And I also planted this zebra succulent plant from indoor, which I'll show you later as well. Hopefully they'll adapt. This is the string of pearls. You can see the new growth from the base right there, and then down here is some new growth too. Here's the elephant fruit plant, and then this is the frizzle sizzle. You can see the flower stalk. It's getting taller now, and this is the big one, and then the smaller one is also sending a flower stalk. As you can see, it's a smaller flower. And here we have the raspberries. These 2-year-old canes are pretty much done. Let's look at the 1-year-old canes, like this one over here. You can see there's a lot of flowers that are opened now, and I think I've seen bees visiting these flowers, which is a good sign. And these other 1-year-old canes are also gonna send out a lot of flowers. You can see here's a bunch more flowers, and here's a lot more. So we're gonna get a second wave of raspberries. Here's the artichoke. You can see this flower is still getting bigger. And the mint plants are doing very well. You can see the leaves are getting a lot bigger, and the plant itself is taller. Also from the base, you can see it's also sending out some new plants, like that one over there. And over here we have the green onion. You can see some of the flowers are fading away now. And I believe it's still sending out some new flowers, like this one. This is a new flower. Not seeing any leaves, which is interesting. Peony, and here we have the hydrangea. You can see this new growth is getting really big. And that other smaller new growth is also getting bigger too. The older flowers from that hydrangea is fading away. As you can see, some of the flowers has dried up. Over here is the rosemary, and then this succulent over here, you can see the flowers are still developing. And here we have the mulberry tree. If you take a closer look, you can see the old fruits that have dried up. The lily of the valley looks pretty much the same. And over here we have the blueberry. Let's take a closer look at the berries. You can see these ones are still green. And over here you can see one blueberry. So they have started to turn blue now. Over here's a few more blue ones. We're gonna get a bunch more pretty soon, I'm assuming. Also on the floor, you can see it's also dropping some blueberries that are not completely mature yet. Here we have the calla lily. You can see the leaves are really taking over. After the first few harvests, you can see it's still sending out more new flowers, like this one over here. And here's the interesting one. You can see this flower has 2 petals. I've never seen the calla lily flower like this before. And here's a few more new calla lily flowers that's going to open pretty soon. This one is probably an older flower. Now let's take a look at the flowers that I harvested last week. You can see they're still looking great. The colors has faded a little bit. They're turning sort of green. And this one is wilted right here. You can see the stem is like rotten, so I have to throw this away. Here's the strawberries. You can see some berries forming still, like this one. Here's a few more berries. That's gonna turn red pretty soon. And this one, I think I showed you last week. It's completely red now, so it's ready for harvest. Too bad this one spot over here is molded. And this strawberry is also weirdly shaped, not giving a good score, but it has a pretty decent size. The strawberry is also sending out a lot of runners now. Right here you can see a few, and on the other side there's some more runners right here. Here's the dahlia. Let's take a closer look at the flower buds. You can clearly see this flower forming. Here's another one. Over here some of the bulb plants. You can see they're pretty much done dying back. Here's the sweet alyssum. I'm going to focus on this crimson clover seedlings that I transplanted. Looks like it's growing pretty nicely. Here's the hydrangea. All the flowers are still looking great. Here's some new flowers. You can see it's really purple, pinkish. And down here some other color. These ones are more of a blue-purple color. The asparagus, on the other hand, has started to die back, as indicated by the yellowing of the leaves. The catnip are sending out a lot more flowers, and I've been seeing a lot of bees around. The grape looks pretty much the same. And over here you can see I transplanted that succulent. The stonecrops, you can see the leaves are getting greener, so it's actively sending out leaves now and maybe some flowers, but the older flowers are all gone now. Here's the rhubarb. You can see a bunch more new leaves, like these ones over here. And down here you can see a few more new leaves that's going to come out pretty soon. Grape hyacinth, I can put this away now. And the pineapple is doing well, even though the leaves is a bit sunburned, shown by the redness. You can see this new leaf over here is getting longer, and I think from the center you can see a few more new leaves. Another catnip. For the indoor garden, you can see this succulent plant. The little baby plant is gone. Right here is the broken stem. And that's the one I transplanted outdoor. Here's another succulent with the black spots. I still haven't really got to it yet. And here's the orchids, all doing very well. Bunch of new growth. See, like right here, it's all new leaves, looking very healthy. Down here is the mini oncidium. If you look closely, you'll see some flower spikes forming. Right here's one. Not seeing any more flower spikes in this plant. This other plant is also sending out a flower spike right here. Not seeing any more, but I'm sure we'll see more next week. Here's a few more orchids. Pretty much mostly leaf growth. Like this phalaenopsis, you can see this new leaf is getting bigger now. And this new leaf over here is certainly getting longer. This guy over here, you can see the leaves are getting redder due to more sun exposure. Here's the bird nest fern. It looks like sending out more new leaf, and the dragon tree plant. The philodendron, and then the prayer plants sending out new leaves. The Hoya plant, this new growth is looking great. And here's the Stockholm fern. It's doing great as well. You can see this shield frond and some new antler fronds.